In today's show, we got a very unique collector's edition of a game that was originally released on the SEGA Mega Drive in Japan. It also got a Sega Genesis release, but never a PAL release. Well, that's all about to change because we have a collector's edition of this. Traysia. Traysia is a game being released by Shinyuden. Now, Shinyuden specialise in slightly different releases for the Sega Genesis and Mega Drive. In fact, this is their first physical release. They're looking at game preservation, games that had significant historical importance on the industry, or those that made these games had a significant impact on the industry. And that's exactly why they're releasing this. This game isn't the best RPG that the Mega Drive ever got. It's a little lackluster, really middle of the road. But the people that made this and some of the historical importance of this game makes it worth releasing again in English with full translations in PAL territories so that everyone can experience it. And that's exactly what Shinyuden want to do. They want to take these games that are historically important and preserve them for everyone. And they've got this goal of releasing these games in their original formats. And like I said, this is their first one. This is a collector's edition of Traysia. Traysia is the first classic game to get a physical release from Shinyuden, and they chose it because it didn't get a release in PAL territories. Technically. But we'll get back to that. More importantly are the people who worked on this game. Mahiro Maeda was an artist on the project and would go on to work at Studio Ghibli and Evangelion. Shinobu Ogawa worked on the game's audio and went on to compose the soundtrack for the Valet series. And lastly, Agi Kiyokuchi, the game's director, would go on to become the directors of the Tales series of games. Now we're going to take a look at what you get in this physical collector's release, and then I want to explain why this game did technically get a PAL release. And it's something I discovered while researching the game. So this is the physical edition of Traysia from Shinyuden. I've got the Japanese artwork. There's actually a dual sleeve, so we'll have a look at the other piece of artwork on there. But I do prefer the Japanese artwork here. So it's a nice box. It doesn't kind of really follow the traditional Japanese layout or the Genesis layout or the Mega Drive layout in terms of kind of whether it's a blue spine, a red spine, or the kind of Japanese spine. So they've gone for their own look and feel for the box, which is nice. They've got one player and they've got a little bit of detail on there and obviously some screenshots on the back here. But the box is really nice. It's a really good quality box we've got there. And then they've kind of copied the Sega sticker that you got there with their own logo there, which is quite nice. Now, inside this box, there's packing a lot of stuff for this kind of collector's edition, if you like. So, to start off with, we've got this. It's a little necklace. Don't think I'd ever wear this out in public. Maybe some of you will. But inside is, I think that is Traysia. So she's the character. So the game's named after one of the characters in the game. Kind of like Zelda. So we've got that. And then we have this envelope here. Like all the little details. There's a lot of attention to detail in this. We've got a load of concept art. Some really nice concept art. Really nice. I don't know why this kind of reminds me of a Ghibli film there. And like I said, attention to detail. The envelope here has got little markings and whatever on there. So yeah, really nice. Then we have a poster as well. Just open this up. I think this is dual-sided. So we've got the Japanese, the original box art there. And then this is actually the box art that you get on the other side of the sleeve, but we'll have a look at that in a minute. Put that to one side. Then they've got a registration card, just like you used to get in the old console games. Which is really quite cool, actually. Quite like that. And then we have a manual, and they supply the manual sleeve as well. Very cool. I do like manual sleeves. These are often with expensive games, manuals are the things that can cost more than the game and the box itself. But again, it kind of looks like the first generation Mega Drive designs. Well, it's a mix between Gen 2 and Gen 1, but with their own style. But you know, really high quality. It is really, really high quality. Really well put together. And then, of course, we've got the cartridge. Got their own custom sticker on there. I might open this up in a minute, see if they've done anything with the PCB. They may not have. Not a lot of people do. It is quite nice to see a little bit of extra in there, though. Not that many people open up their cartridges just to look at the PCB. I think that's just me. And then let's have a look at the cover art. So we can see here, this is the original Japanese kind of cover art there. And then we have this version here. It's a lot better than the Genesis artwork. I'll show you a picture of the Genesis artwork later, but yeah, a lot better than the Genesis artwork. Really, really nice. So I've taken out the screws at the back, and I've got a feeling it's going to be a standard board. Yeah, it's just a standard board. Cool, good quality board though, it looks like. Very nice. I alluded to the fact that this game technically may have had a PAL release, and it did. Back in the early 90s, SEGA of America had a program where they worked with their distributors, mainly in Australia, to bring surplus game stock and games from other publishers to gamers in this region. The program was called Approved SEGA Import. Nearly 40 games were sold under the original Genesis packaging, with the Approved SEGA Import sticker slapped on the front. Now obviously not making new cover art and printing new manuals and cart labels saved SEGA and their partners some decent money. These games were also part of the Super SEGA Awards program that offered players the chance to enter exclusive sweepstakes, earn coupons for SEGA products and receive special promotions. Now before we go, I want to give you a sample of Traysia's gameplay. It's considered to be one of the more underwhelming RPGs on the system, and the team at Shinyuden know this. But like I said, the team that worked on this went on to have a big impact on the entertainment industry, and so this game had its part to play in gaming history. So of course Traysia was an original release, came out in Japan, early 90s RPG. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to play through for probably about an hour, but we won't have an hour's playthrough, especially as some of these early Japanese RPGs would have like 40 minutes of intro text. But enough to get a flavour and taste of the game. I've never played it before. Like I said, I know it's not considered the best RPG on the platform, but if you're into RPGs, this could be perfect for you. You know, music's nice. Really like the music. First impressions. And the graphics are all right, so let's get in and play it. So I think Traysia is I think I'm pronouncing that right. I think she is a princess, so it's like Zelda, right? So it's called Zelda, but your hero is someone else, and I think it's the same with this one. So it's called Traysia, but your hero is someone else. So select game to start, right? This looks really nice, right? For an early 90s RPG. So the audio in this game is supposed to be pretty good. Like if you had to pick one of the standout things of this entire game, it's supposed to be the audio is the thing that everyone points to as being excellent. Gonna skip the intro. Let's get through this text. I'll do a proper playthrough myself where I'll read through the story. I do like the story in RPGs. It's a decent intro. Right, here we go. Okay. Again, I think visually this looks like an early 90s RPG. How do you get into it? Can you not get in? Okay, so if a door's locked, you can't go in. Start his speech. Can I get into the inn? Guessing the inn is like everything else where you save. What have we got here? Ooh. Yeah, this has got to be where you save. Can't do anything at the moment. Okay, right, let's see if I can find out where to go. And once I do, you guys can join me again and I'll let you know how the game's going. Right, I think I've finally found where I need to go. I think I went every single house except for the one I needed to go to. It is very JRPG. There's tons of text. It's probably like 15-20 minutes I've spent just wandering around talking to people. And half my problem is I'm trying to speed through it so I can get the video, and so I'm reading nothing at the moment. I'm sure I'm missing all sorts of critical information that I need. Alright, what do I do here? Nice to meet you. Will you join us? Yes. What's your name? Roy. Okay. The most inventive of names. Roy and Floyd. Looks like I've got party members now. Oh, I've got 3 party members. Okay. What do we do now? Let's have a wander. Can't go back in there. It doesn't help that some of these buildings aren't actually labelled as anything. I found like a house with these druids in that will help you with magic. But it wasn't labelled as like a magic house or a place where I would get any kind of special powers from. No reason to be here. Shoo. Right, okay. Let me figure out what I got to do next. And hopefully when you join me, we can be in like the open world combat-y place. So I'm in this open world part now. Go west to the Kingdom of Salong. Okay. I guess that's where we've just come from, is it? So I have no idea how the battle mechanic works here. I'm assuming it's not random encounters. Or maybe, is this it? Maybe it is random encounters. Ooh. Right, attack. That, okay. So it looks like I'm moving the, it's on a grid. So you've got loads of enemies on a grid. And then you decide where you're attacking them. Looks like we've got snakes and flans. Attack. Floyd. Why can't he attack? Oh, magic maybe? Twin Blaze. Super Frost. Oh, he can't do anything. Okay. Hang on. He attacks. Defend? Does that run away? Or move? Maybe that's move. I don't know what that is. Okay. They're really getting into me. I can't figure out if it's like a tactics game. If it's a tactics game where you have to position yourself, or if it's just a simple... How do you move him? I don't understand how you move him. It's a little awkward at the moment. All right, so his attack... Does he just always stay at the back there? I'm dead. Oh, okay. Right, I'll give that one more go. The combat is awkward, to say the least. You probably have to read the instruction manual, which I never do. Right, we're back again. This time I've got 3 flans. Right, so maybe if I just... So you have to go and attack them. So I can't choose to like tactically put myself here. So I'm not entirely sure what the point of the grid system is, right? It's not like I can move here and then I attack. I am just going and selecting which enemy I want. I guess maybe they have at some points the whole screen full of enemies. But then you get overwhelmed. Right, I am going to focus... Oh, hang on. What happened there? Press B. I'm going to focus all my attacks on one enemy. And then he stays at the back. It's so weird. I don't get the magician at all. I can't move him. Oh, they're slimes, not flans. Like, I chose to attack those guys up front, but they haven't attacked them. They just move forwards. I don't get it. I'm sure I will once I've played enough. Like, how do I move? How do I move? Okay, I've gone backwards there. So it won't let me do a normal attack. Super Blaze? Yeah, look, I can only do this. It's so weird. Okay, they moved across to attack. They've not done their attack. Roy has. It's so odd. It's kind of like it is a tactics combat system. Okay. Beat them. Excellent. I can only attack forward, so... Hey! 8 experience points. 60 gold. So yeah, definitely am confused with the combat. It is random encounter, it looks like. Ooh, entrance to the forest. Yes, please. Let's go in the forest. Forest looks the same as where we've just come from. I'm not sure how it's different. I want to say it's random encounter, but I'm walking for miles here and not coming across anything. Oh, as he says it. Ooh, green ones. Right, okay. Attack. Maybe attack from this. No, I can't. There's only one place I can attack from. Okay. And then this guy can just attack from... What happens if I choose the helmet? Oh, okay. Maybe the helmets move. See, they moved and didn't attack. Is there like an order to the... but he moved and attacked. I don't get it. I do not get it right. So the helmet... I would have thought the helmet was defense, but the helmet isn't. Okay, off we go. Kind of getting it. It's sort of like I said, it's kind of a tactics game in terms of combat, but it's not a tactics game. You've got the movement. I'm dead. You've got the movement where you can move around, but you can't choose sides to attack an enemy from. Anyway, so there we go. I would say, you know, I obviously only played a very short amount of time with this. Yeah, it's a mediocre RPG. But it's awesome that there's a team out there that want to preserve these games and bring them to new audiences. And, you know, I'll give this a little bit more time. I think it's going to be a bit of a hard push to get all the way through to the end. But I do like my RPGs, and I've played some terrible RPGs. And I would say this doesn't even fall into the camp of terrible RPG. I'd say this is just an okay RPG on the system. I really love that Shinyuden are doing this, taking games that have historical importance and re-releasing them for all audiences. They've put a little extra work into this one in making it physical and a collector's edition, and they've reworked some of the translations to bring them up to spec. And I think it's brilliant that we have companies like this that now exist to not just make a quick buck, but also to ensure that we have preservation of these games. I also really enjoyed researching this and then finding out about the official Sega import scheme that Sega had as well, kind of technically making it so that this game did come out at least in Australia as a PAL version, but with all the Genesis branding. I find that stuff super interesting, and you now know that I'm going to have to find every single game that had that sticker on there to go into my collection. The hole just keeps on getting deeper. Anyway, if you'd like to get your hands on a physical copy of this, a collector's edition of the game, if you love your RPGs, you love the Mega Drive and Genesis, you're a collector, then I shall put the link down in the description exactly where you can purchase yourself a physical copy. That's all we got for this week's show. I'll catch you in the next one.